Hey, traders, today wasn't a great day, but it was green. And that's kind of what we're going to focus on here today, because it could have been way different. Could have been way different. And it was for a little while. But, anyways, let's jump right into it. As always, AFRM was our first trade. Pretty decent trade here. Pretty good move out of it. You can see yesterday's high down there at 1324. It made kind of a intraday high here in the pre market around 1343. And then we got a nice little move up through there, up to 14. And I was really hoping we get a nice push up through 14. However, it didn't want to. Hit this at 13.99. I actually took half size on it because of that. Had this bumped up to 14.20 or so, I'd probably take the 200 shares, but was playing it a little bit safe. I only took 100 here at 13.99, and we get the nice little pullback, put the order out, 13.79 got filled. So that was about 50% of the move there. Can't really complain. If we draw our two lines, you can see it's pretty much right in the middle. So pretty happy with that. I do want to start maybe trying to maybe not put orders out right away on those initial flushes and maybe just kind of read the price action a little bit more. I am pretty good at determining around that 50% mark where the pullback might go to and then probably shoot back up. But I do lose out on a lot of profit possibly by not just trying to read the price action and get out at the bottom. Because I mean, this one, it went through my order and just kept on going all the way down to 1350 before even attempting to bounce. So could have easily squeezed probably another 15, 20 cents out of it. But again, that's something to look into moving forward. Our other trade was on NRDS. I was calling it nerds as it was happening. Now, if we scroll out, yesterday's high 15, I believe this might have been earnings. I know that they said it was earnings, but I don't know if this is when it happened in post market yesterday, or maybe it happened in the morning. I don't know. I didn't look, but it came up to that area from the pre market. I believe this area was off the daily. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. If we want to take a quick look, go backwards. You'll see this area here. It's kind of what I was going off of. There was multiple touches of resistance here at 1653. So I was really looking for that to possibly be a little bit of a resistance area, especially since we made the move pretty straight up. And I was sort of right. It did try to come down from there. That kind of was a temporary top. And then all of a sudden it decided to go higher. Did not get an add here on the 1688 push. But as you can see, it went to 1688 and then gave us a nice dump all the way back down to 1630. But I was still looking for closer to 16 for my take profit. Unfortunately, after that dump to 1630, it got bought right back up and continued a little bit higher. I knew that I was going to be patient with my ads on this one, just because it just kind of felt like it was starting to grind. The volume wasn't really that great. I mean, you can see these volume bars. I mean, they're only, the highest one was around 86K over the course of 2 minutes. So wasn't a ton of volume. The spread was kind of crap as well, but we did end up putting an order out at 1723 as it was moving up through 17. It went up to 1750 on that candle. It did start to come back. It tested 17, and I was really obviously looking for, I believe my average was around like 1690 or something like that. I honestly don't remember. But obviously needed to go down a bit further. Kind of went sideways, went up higher, put in a high at 1791. I was looking to do the 112 with the add up around 1820 if it wanted to get there. It didn't quite get there. Ended up adding on what I thought was the backside. Tried to go higher. Actually added 200 more. So now we're at 600 shares, basically saying this is the top, or I'm going to have to cut some on that 18 test. And it goes up to 1808, and we fill 75% of our shares at 1806, 1807. And the high ended up being 1808. That was very frustrating because literally once we got filled, this thing immediately got shoved down all the way to 1770. So it was a little pissy. I believe we had 150 shares left. I ended up adding 500 back once it felt like it didn't want to pop back up. But then it started to kind of grind back up, but it just didn't seem like it wanted to go higher. And at this point, I'm saying, okay, it tried to fake out, failed, tried to fake out again and failed. If it's going to go up again, I'm just going to have to cut the whole thing. So I actually ended up adding an extra 450 shares, bringing us to 1,100 shares. And I immediately put out, I believe it was 800 of those shares. Yes, it was 800 shares. I guess we could have did the math here. 2, 4, 2. Yeah. So 800 pretty much came down and filled us almost to the penny. 43 cents is where we put it. It went to 42 and then jumped all the way back up. That brought us down. We were realized minus 299 here, but we still had 25% of our position. So we were down probably closer to like 350 or so. And then as we were coming down, when we took this, we were realized negative 99, and we still had 500 shares. Yeah, no, 300 shares. So as this was kind of going sideways, we actually put an order out for 200 of our shares at 1717, and this wicked down to 1718, and then immediately wicked right back up to our average. Our average at this point was 1763. I want to say it was somewhere in there. So we were never really going red on the rest of these shares once it got below here until after it missed us. We had 200 of our 300 shares at 1717, which would have given us a pretty decent profit on this trade. It would have given us like a $60, $70 profit on those shares. And then we would have still had 100 shares, which I was obviously looking for a possible fade or at least this 17 retest. Goes back up. We're red again on these shares. The spread was kind of crap, so couldn't really do anything with it. Was basically saying I'm just going to have to cut them at the highs, which would suck, or it's going to make a lower high and hopefully continue down. So at this point, I realized, okay, it's going to hopefully come down. This was such a big bottom wick here that I didn't feel we would get a retest of that 1718 as quickly. If it was going to have to do exactly what it ended up doing. So once I felt like it didn't want to move down any further, I ended up taking off 200 shares, 1733, which actually brought us green overall. And then I really was hoping to get the extra push down with the extra 100 shares, but unfortunately it just didn't feel like it wanted to. It just kind of kept going sideways. And so I ended up taking them off just because I was like, I'm green on the trade. I ended up down $2 after commissions. I'll take it. I was obviously not a fun trade. It was not the trade I was looking for when I initially got in, but we managed it well and it ended up working out, and that's all there is to it. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Always appreciate the support. Questions, comments, concerns, all that good stuff. Feel free to leave those down below. You can always find me in Discord or Twitter. Those links are in the description, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Peace.